Freddie Gibbs just announced his latest album, SSS, coming in 2021, and he says that it's going to be his best produced album ever. And I've taken a look at the producer list that he officially announced, and it's looking stacked. You have the likes of Madlib, you have Pharrell, you have Hit Boy, Mike Will Made It, The Alchemist, and more. And it's a really interesting choice from Freddie to go and make an album with all of these A-list producers.
It's crazy because the track list might sound a bit less focused than what we're usually known to expect with Madlib albums or with Alchemist albums, but I think in this case it's a really good way to go, just because Freddie Gibbs has gotten so much more skilled as a rapper. We've seen the evolution over the years. Of his latest project, Alfredo, was just fantastic. His 2 singles that he's released in 2021 have been good as well. And I want to see where it goes from here, because I think it's really up to Freddie at that point, especially with that many great productions. And what's also cool is that it's all of these huge producers are giving the cosigns to the underground at this point. Like, having Pharrell on your album is a fucking huge accomplishment.
Yeah, because people are starting to notice that Freddie is simply one of the most skilled rappers and MCs in the game, and his resume speaks for itself. If you look at 2020, he had one of the best albums of the year in Alfredo. You take it back to 2019 with Bandana, one of the best albums of that year. Same thing with 2014 with Piñata. The guy does not miss, and he's been on a consistent run with great project after great project. And yes, the track list might not be as focused because we're used to seeing him, with Alchemist solely produced albums or Madlib solely produced albums, but this also gives him more of a range, you could say.
That is true. I would love to hear him on a Hit Boy beat as well. Give me some of that. And
yeah, because Four Things was a huge banger. So I mean,
and what was it? One Way Flight, of course. That was a Hit Boy beat as well. No.
Yeah, it was.
It was a Hit Boy. Okay, so expect that going on. I'm also, of course, Alchemist and Madlib never miss. You're gonna get some of that production there. But the biggest question mark is that Pharrell beat. Like, how would that even sound? Like, do you think it would be a case of how Pharrell produces beats for Pusha T, or do you think maybe it's gonna be something a bit more unique to Freddie Gibbs' style?
I think it'll definitely be a Clips type beat, which is exactly what I want, and hopefully we can get maybe a Pusha T verse on there as well. And if there's someone that can kind of make those 2 artists combine once again, it would be Pharrell and the Neptune. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. And going back to his releases this year, we had Gang Signs with Schoolboy Q, and then we had I think it was called Big Boss Rabbit, right?
Yes.
And he's kind of taking this whole branding of having that rabbit in the background, and we also saw it in the Gang Signs music video. But what's really interesting is that if you look closely enough in that video, the rabbit's driving a car, and he takes a moment to focus and zoom in on the license plate of the car he's driving, and you see August, you see AUG 2021, meaning that this next album might be coming in August of 2021.
That is a great decipher. So if it does come there, what do you expect? Like, what are the collaborators? What it's going to be the rollout? Do you think it's going to be more of a low-key Freddie project, or do you think he's going to go grand with it again?
Well, this is going to be his major label debut. So I think it's going to be his most grand album yet. And we're seeing it with the amount of, collaborators he's having on this. And in terms of features, I'd want him to kind of keep it to a minimum. I would definitely like him to see him work with Pusha T, like I said earlier. Definitely another Benny the Butcher verse. Maybe some Anderson .Paak again, because I love their chemistry on Giannis. So there's so much potential for great music.
I don't want to see a French Montana feature like Benny did. No, definitely not a French Montana feature. But
that was questionable to say the least.
That was definitely questionable. But regardless, I do think it's going to be a great project because Freddie never misses. And you go back to the types of projects he's been releasing. Let's go back 2 projects, and you just look at what Bandana and Alfredo do. Those are 2 potential classics. And nothing even before that, you want to talk about Fetty, that's still another potential classic. Like, there's so many different quality projects that come with them, and then, like, obviously the content matter stays subjective to Coke, but there's also a lot of personal anecdotes from Freddie himself.
Exactly.
And that's something that I want to see, right?
That's something that he said he's going to bring back, is more storytelling cuts, and that's amazing. And that's what Freddie needs to be a contender for Album of the Year in 2021. And I think he will be, just because if you look at 2020, Album of the Year contender, if not Rap Album of the Year. 2019, same situation. He is making a case every single year for having the best album.
Do you think he's the most consistent rapper right now?
In the game right now, yeah.
Okay.
I'll give it to Freddie.
And what happens, do you think, if he delivers on that magnitude again? Like, let's say you get another Alfredo caliber album. Or
then
you get
people need to start
album.
putting him in their all-time great lists. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, you would go.
If he's going to be able to have a run where it's 4 or 5 years consecutively where he has a top 2 to top 3 rap album, he can definitely be seen as one of the greats.
Ooh, that's such,
if he keeps up on this run. If there's another I'm not saying top 10, I'm not saying top 15, maybe top 30, top 40.
Ooh. But that's not a stretch. That's not a stretch. If he delivers he has classics to his name.
He does.
He does have classics to his name. He has great material to his name, and he's worked with legendary producers. That's why, like, the whole career, like the career he's built up for himself up to this point has been absolutely fantastic. And I mean, how are you gonna even try to tell me that Freddie Gibbs right now is not one of the best in the game, let alone consistent, right? Like, you talk about his flow and you talk about his delivery and even storytelling, right? Like, I could take you through numerous tracks where Freddie Gibbs just gets me mind blown because I'm like, how the fuck is this guy even rapping this way? And one thing that we understand about Madlib's production or Alchemist's production is that they're extremely complex productions to rap over, and they're not easy at all. And Freddie Gibbs is playing with the likes of Madlib and creating productions with that. Now, you get Pharrell in the mix and you get a couple other guys in the mix. It's going to be absolutely stupid. And I think a big part of Freddie Gibbs' music as well is the way that it's engineered and the way that it makes you sound and feel. It has a lot of bump to it, but yet it's still, it's still coherent in his vocals, and his vocals are always super clear. And I like
every single performance that he's put out over the last couple of years. There's never been a miss. And this is one of my most anticipated albums of the year, without a doubt. And guys, let us know your expectations for this project. Do you think it actually has potential to be his best produced album? Because Freddie's making a bold statement by saying that.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching the episode. Listen, we got a lot of stuff going on here at NFR. You guys could join our community by joining our Discord chat. It's absolutely popping. The link is going to be in the bio, guys. And listen, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification tabs. We're doing daily content here at NFR Podcast. Thank you guys for sticking in, and I'll see you on the next one.